company we are looking at is Selganscano. Jess, could you turn to the next slide, please? So the company is based in Madrid and founded in 1998, and it's a Spanish architectural studio headed by a husband and wife duo, which is Jose Selgas and Lucia Cano. Background on both. They were both born in Madrid in 1965. Jose graduated architect from ETSA in Madrid in 1992, and he worked with architect Francesco Valencia in Nepal in 1994 to 95, and he's won awards such as the Rome Prize of Spain Academy of Fine Arts in Rome 1997 to 98. And Lucia graduated as well in ETSA Madrid in 1992, and she worked with architect Julio Cano Lasso until 1996 and was a member of Cano Lasso Studios since 1997 to 2003. The company is a small atelier and it intended to remain like that. They don't teach in any universities and tend not to give lectures in order to focus intensely on projects. They center their work on the construction process and investigation, treating it as a continuous listening to a largest possible number of elements involved on the manufacture to the installation. In the UK, it is best known for the iridescent Serpentine Pavilion, which was installed in Hyde Park in 2015, and worldwide, they are known in New York in the Museum of Modern Art, the Guggenheim, and the Design in Museum in London. Sustainability was like a main focus within the company, as their hope was that architecture is to build less and less and to give more space to nature in the cities and disappear more on behalf of nature. And scale was very important to them because they didn't understand why buildings were as big as they are. And they always said the smaller the better. And they also found out that the cheaper products they used were more sustainable, and sustainability was always related to their budget, with the light materials that they used and the energy transport, such as the transportation, fabrication, and the weight throughout the building. Josh, do you want to go?
Yeah, so as you can see on the screens, the Silicon House, which was one of their first projects in 2006, and it was designed from the Le Corbusier, well, as Le Corbusier designed the Sainte Marie de la Tourette monastery in 1960 with an empty courtyard for birds to come and plants to grow. The Silicon House did the opposite, as it was placed in the middle of a forest in Madrid, and it shows plastic expression because it's characterized by the modeling of three-dimensional art, and it kind of hides lots of the markings on the building through the construction of it. Could you go to the next slide, please? So we've got the office in the woods, which is their headquarters, and the use of materials consists of a 20mm thick curved window created of transparent acrylics on one wall, and 110mm thick insulated fiberglass and polyester sandwich offering shade from direct sunlight. And in terms of sustainability, the long window that curved up to the ceiling and runs along the length of the office and eliminates the need for any artificial sunlight during the day. And the window is also attached to a hinge and pulley mechanism that allows it to open up and keep the building ventilated. You can go to the next slide.
The practice believes architecture should be built in careful consideration to the existing surroundings and environment. This mindset shaped the work they produced in Hollywood for second home offices. What previously was a car park is now a site hosting 60 oval-shaped offices immersed in a vegetated garden. The project focus was on outdoor space. They explain one of the few private developments in which the built environment has been returned to its natural environment. The structure consists of metal polygonal framing and translucent polymer stretched across, creating a web effect. Installing a white floor accentuated the light pouring through, creating an iridescent rainbow effect on the ground surface. Selganscano took influence from the way people move around London, the underground in particular, being a many-layered, chaotic yet structured flow. The pavilion then took shape with multiple corridors and multiple entrances. Visitors had the freedom to interpret what direction they took. Selganscano emphasizes the importance of connecting a building with its surroundings, particularly through the use of color and light materials. To construct the pavilion, polycarbonate sheets created by the company Onduline were used. Being translucent, it let a lot of light through. This particular type is often used in greenhouses or roofing.
The Greenwich Design District is a site in London with 16 buildings designed by 8 well-known architects, and Selganscano was one of those. The client was Night Dragon, who's a team of developers, marketeers, planners, and financiers creating new settlements of urban living, and Selganscano were responsible for the food hall and the B1 office block. So the food hall is shaped like a caterpillar, which is held up by a metal frame, which you can see on the right, and on the left-hand side is the B1 office block. The food hall is eco-friendly as there's trees situated inside of the building, and the B1 workspace contains a winter garden on top of it, so they're both rather eco-friendly designs. You can go next slide.
So the Expo in Dubai was announced as a finalist for a competition in Spain's National Pavilion. And the proposal consists of an inflatable canopy with a steel framework. Selganscano's design re-imaged the public square. The pavilion was created to be ultra-light, sustainable and easily portable. The structure can move up and down to respond to the environment, the views, the light levels and breeziness. 9 yellow cylinders were made from recycled ETFE. The design was intended to emit zero carbon emissions thanks to the 1,000 square meters of rooftop photovoltaic panels. Photovoltaic is essentially the conversion of light to electricity using semiconductor materials. As the build as a whole, it uses more than 80% of materials that will be certified recycled materials, and other elements could be recycled and reused independently.
One must argue that creating a series of temporary structures, ones that aren't designed for longevity and with the environment in mind, limits how sustainable your work really is. What happens to the materials after the exhibit is closed?
As an architecture firm, I found that I did like the way they approached it, because most of their work is very like plastic expression in the terms of it's very sculptural and modeled, and it looks like an artwork as well as a building.
I quite like the playfulness and vibrance in their work, and especially their interest in sustainability, notably in the Martel Pavilion, which is entirely recyclable, and it proves that reducing the ecological impact of temporary venues can be done both thoughtfully and beautifully. And they also reuse some wood from previous installations in that building as well.